Hello everybody, I'm the pilot Blake and welcome back to Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. Today we're going to be doing a VIP charter mission in career mode here in the Citation CJ4, flying from Kansas City Downtown Airport out to Scranton, Pennsylvania. And you could say maybe we're going to go see Michael Scott out there in Scranton. And today we are checking out the career mode because in the most recent sim update that we just had, sim update 3, there have supposedly been several improvements made to the ATC module. So today we're going to be putting that to the test and seeing if the default ATC is actually any better. So we're basically running default Microsoft Flight Sim 2024, and we're going to be using the default ATC, obviously, and using the default flight plan that they generated for us in our tablet. So I'm going to pre-flight the airplane, and then we'll be on our way. All right, our pre-flight inspection is complete, and we've got our passengers on board the airplane, so we are ready to go. You guys have seen me start up the CJ4 before, so I'll probably trim most of the start process out. All right, we're going to go ahead and listen to the ATIS before we get our clearance.
Downtown Airport Information Kilo 0000 Zulu. Wind 049er at tree. Visibility 10. Sky condition. Ceiling 10,200 broken. Temperature 17. Dew point 10. Altimeter tree 022. ILS runway 19er in use. Landing and departing runway 19er. VFR aircraft say direction of flight. All aircraft read back, hold short instructions. Advise controller on initial contact you have Kilo.
All right, we'll go ahead and request our IFR clearance.
Kansas City clearance delivery. N404SB Alpha Alpha Charlie 66 IFR to Wilkes-Barre, ready to copy.
N404SB Alpha Alpha Charlie 66 is cleared to Wilkes-Barre Airport as filed, runway 19er. Climb and maintain flight level 450. Departure frequency is 125.55, squawk 0232.
All right, read it back.
Cleared to Wilkes-Barre as filed, runway 19er. Climb and maintain flight level 450. Departure frequency is 125.55, squawk 0232, N404SB Alpha Alpha Charlie 66.
N404SB Alpha Alpha Charlie 66. Readback is correct. Contact ground on 1 tree when ready to taxi. Good day.
All right, we're going to go ahead and start the airplane. So we'll start with the right engine. So we'll engage a starter and we'll go run. And we'll monitor the start. All right, we have a good start on the right engine. I'm going to repeat the procedure for the left engine. All right, we've got two good engines. We'll go ahead and turn the avionics master on, standby flight display on, and we'll arm the emergency exit lights. All right, we're ready to taxi. We'll go ahead and let them know.
Downtown ground, N404SB Alpha Alpha Charlie 66 with Kilo, ready to taxi, IFR.
N404SB Alpha Alpha Charlie 66, taxi to and hold short of runway 19er via taxiway Golf Delta cross runway 22 Delta. Contact tower on 1 tree when ready.
Okay.
Taxi, hold short runway 19er using taxiway Golf Delta cross runway 22 Delta.
Taxi light
N404SB
on,
Alpha Alpha
release the
Charlie
brakes, check the
66.
brakes, nozzle steering, and flight instruments. Otherwise, the taxi checklist is complete. Release our brakes. We'll start rolling forward here. And we'll just check our brakes. We got brakes. And we can always use our little cheat here and we'll welcome our passengers on board. All right, the before takeoff checklist is complete. We are ready to let them know that we are ready for departure. So let's go ahead and call them.
Downtown Tower, N40, Forest B Alpha, Alpha, Charlie 66, ready for departure. Runway 19er, IFR to Wilkes-Barre.
N404 SB Alpha, Alpha, Charlie 66, altimeter tree 022. Cleared for takeoff runway 19er.
All right, we are clear for takeoff.
Cleared for takeoff
Release the
runway
parking
19er,
brake.
N404 SB Alpha, Alpha,
And
Charlie
we'll get our
66.
lights on. All right. And we will inform our passengers of our takeoff.
Ladies and gents,
All right, we
welcome
are
on
clear.
board this flight to Pittston Township. I'm First Officer Jason Martin,
And
and
clear
I'm
for
here to
takeoff.
ensure you have an enjoyable flight to Pittston Township today. If there's anything we can do to make your flight more enjoyable, please let us know.
I guess that's
gently
a-
remind you to fasten your seatbelt.
I guess
and
that's a
this
guy.
is a non-smoking flight. You'll find a safety briefing card in the
Doesn't
seat
look like a
pocket
guy.
in front of you. Prepare for takeoff.
All right.
Thank you.
Go ahead and center our heading bug. They didn't give us an initial heading, so on course all the way up to 450. Ready to go. Let's do it. Let's bring our power up. All right, takeoff detent. And our power's up. Brakes released. Engines both look good. Airspeed is alive. There's 80 knots. V1.
V1.
Rotate. Positive rate. Gear up. And we'll bring our power back to the climb detent. Flaps are up. We didn't use flaps on this departure.
N404 SB Alpha, Alpha, Charlie 66, contact Kansas City Center on 125.55. Good
Here's
day.
Kansas City. And we'll contact departure.
Going to
Good day.
125.55. N404 SB Alpha, Alpha, Charlie 66. Kansas City Center, N404 SB Alpha, Alpha, Charlie 66 is at 2,600 climbing flight level 450.
N404 SB Alpha, Alpha, Charlie 66, Kansas City Center, altimeter tree 022. Radar contact continue.
So landing gear is up. Wing flaps are up. Throttles are in the climb detent. Yaw dampers on. Autopilot as desired. Ice protection systems are as needed. Passenger lights buttons, we'll hold those till 10,000 feet. So that's good. And landing lights, we'll get those at 10,000 feet as well. Pressurization, looking good. And the altimeters are set for now. After takeoff / climb checklist is complete.
N404 SB Alpha, Alpha, Charlie 66, contact Kansas City Center on 135.575. Good day.
Going to 135.575. N404 SB Alpha, Alpha, Charlie 66.
And 10,000 feet will increase our speed to 280 knots.
Is at 9,900 climbing flight level 450.
280 is set.
SB Alpha, Alpha,
Running
Charlie
light off,
66,
and we'll turn our
Kansas City
passenger
Center,
lights off.
altimeter tree 022, radar contact. Continue to
Perfect.
lofty.
All right, we're still in our climb here. Just passed through flight level 310 on our way up to 450. And I just wanted to point out the tailwind that we have right now. We have a quartering left tailwind of over 100 knots. It's giving us a ground speed of over 500 knots in the climb. So we'll see what it ends up being in cruise. But the winds around this altitude have been really helping us out. We're moving along pretty good. right, altitude select capture. We are leveling off here at our cruising altitude, which also happens to be the airplane's service ceiling of flight level 450. And so we'll go ahead and inform the passengers of cruise status. All right, I got the cruise checklist complete. So we are cruising along now here at flight level 450. And you can see that the winds did die down, which I'd kind of expected. So our ground speed's not quite as good as it was, but we're still moving along pretty good. So that is pretty nice. As far as the ATC goes, everything's, with that has been pretty uneventful, which is good.
6 contact Chicago Center on 119.225. Good day.
Going to 119.225. N404SB.
That's just all it's been for the most part, just these handoffs. They haven't done anything crazy yet, so fingers crossed.
Flight level 450.
N404SB Alpha Charlie 66, Chicago Center. Radar contact. Continue to KNNS.
So, anyways, I'm going to go ahead and just enjoy the cruise portion of this flight. We got quite a ways to go yet, so I'll catch up with you guys when we get closer to the top of descent.
'Cause I've been living life right like I could just die any minute. Going for a ride down the side, PCH country limit. I don't need a guide, follow lights, take me where I want to visit. Are you alive? I'm just breathing. 'Cause I've been living life right like I could just die any minute. Going for a ride down the side, PCH country limit. I don't need a guide, follow lights, take me where I want to visit. Are you alive? I'm just breathing. Flashing red lights, driving at night. Windowless ride, feeling alive. Nothing in sight, forever in flight. Follow those lines, we're making this time. Blurry street lights, work as a guide to memories that we're making tonight. Oh yeah, we'll make it tonight. Yeah. I'll do anything that I feel like I wanna do. I'm living life like I got nothing left to prove. No end in sight, just always staying on the move. I'll go all night if that's just what I gotta do. Life's too short to care about what you can't afford. Memories are in what you explore. So just
All right, the FMS has drawn out our top of descent, coming up here in about 20 miles up here after Bemlo. So we'll see when the default ATC starts descending us. That'll be the moment of truth. All right, there's our top of descent right there. And we'll see how long it takes them before we get descent instructions.
N404SB Alpha Charlie 66. Maintain present heading and altitude. Expect ILS runway 22 approach via Cosby transition. Clear to Cosby.
Maintain present heading and altitude. Expect ILS runway 22 approach via Cosby transition. Cleared to Cosby. N404SB Alpha Charlie 66.
N404SB Alpha Charlie 66. Contact Wilkes-Barre Tower on 120.1 when inbound.
Tower on 120.1. N404SB Alpha Charlie 66. Wilkes-Barre Tower, N404SB Alpha Charlie 66, 75 miles west, inbound ILS runway 22 approach.
N404SB Alpha Charlie 66, Wilkes-Barre Tower. Altimeter 2986, cleared ILS runway 22 approach.
Cleared ILS runway 22 approach, N404SB Alpha Charlie 66.
All right, let's talk about that exchange real quick. First of all, they said maintain present heading and altitude. Expect ILS runway 22 approach via Cosby. Clear to Cosby. So, first of all, that's a conflicting instruction because they said maintain present heading, but also you're cleared direct to Cosby. So there was that, and then of course they had us contact tower, but we're still 75 miles west of the airport at flight level 450. That of course is not realistic. And then we called tower and they cleared us for the approach. So that definitely wasn't the most realistic exchange. All right, with that said, we'll go ahead and do our descent checklist here. So pressurization, verify landing elevation, which is 937. I see 937. That's good. Have the approach plate up still, and I've already briefed the approach, by the way. So pressurization looks good. Ice protection systems are as required. Altimeters, they said 2986. So we can go ahead and get that set on the standby and pre-selected on the PFDs. So altimeters are set for now, and exterior lights are set for now as well. So that is good. Descent checklist is complete. We'll get the approach checklist done once we get closer in. All right, passing through the transition altitude, we'll go ahead and reset the altimeters. 2986 is set on all three. That looks good. Let's go ahead and listen to the ATIS.
Wilkes-Barre Airport information, Juliet. 0200 Zulu. Wind 252 at 12. Visibility 10. Sky condition. Few clouds at 2,400. Few clouds at 4,700. Temperature 23. Dew point 14. Altimeter 2986. ILS runway 22 in use. Landing and departing runway 22. VFR aircraft stay direction of flight. All aircraft read back hold short instructions. Advise controller on initial contact US Juliet.
All right, out of 10,000 feet, speed looks good. We'll turn the landing light on, and we'll get our passenger signs on, and we'll take a peek at the approach checklist. Landing data is confirmed. I just did that, so we'll have our V speeds up on the airspeed tape, which will be good. So that is good. Crew briefing complete. So we've got the ATIS, the altimeters are set. I've already briefed the approach. The avionics are set. We've got our barrel minimums plugged in there. And the airplane will go into the approach configuration once we get on the approach. So the crew briefing is complete. Avionics and flight instruments are set. Minimums are in there. Fuel transfer selector is off. So that's good. Exterior lights are as required. Those are good for now. Ice protection systems are as required. Very good. And flaps will go 15. A little bit closer in. Passenger briefing is complete. Seats are upright now. Board seatbelts are adjusted and secured. Passenger lights and safety button are both on. Pressurization, we'll keep an eye on that. Right now it is looking good. We are depressurizing. We're going to go ahead and arm VNAV. Very good. So pressurization looks good, and the approach checklist is complete. The before landing checklist will be next. All right, there's Cosby. And we're going out now for a hold in lieu of procedure turn here. Everything looks good. Airspeed is good. We're slowing down nicely. We got flaps 15 in there. All right, coming up on Cosby, we'll be crossing Cosby this time as the intermediate fix. And from there, we can descend down to 3,100 feet. All right, we're inbound in the approach. Everything's looking good. All 5 A's are complete. We're descending to 3,100 feet now. And we are, of course, cleared for the approach. Looking good. A little bit of wind on the approach.
Minimum.
And terrain around here is minimums continue. Terrain around here is definitely, the terrain and the wind are definitely playing some games, but we're looking good on the approach. Crosswind from the right. It looks like we got plenty of speed. All right, we're bringing our power out, bring the airplane down into a round out, and then the flare. A little bit long, that's okay, we got plenty of runway. Bounce it a little bit. Ground spoilers. Fly that nose wheel down. Beautiful. Not bad at all.
N404SB Alpha Alpha Charlie 66. Exit runway when able.
All right, we'll clear the runway, come to a stop over here, and typical Microsoft Flight Simulator taxiways here.
Wilkes-Barre ground, N404SB Alpha Alpha Charlie 66, taxi to parking.
N404SB Alpha Alpha Charlie 66. Taxi to general aviation, parking using taxiway Alpha cross runway 22 Alpha.
Taxiing to general
All right,
aviation,
let's
parking
see
via
where they want
taxiway
us.
Alpha
Oh, yeah.
cross runway 22 Alpha, N404SB Alpha Alpha Charlie 66.
I don't know what runway crossing they're talking about, but whatever.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Wilkes-Barre/Scranton International Local Time. It's 12:44 p.m. For your safety, the captain has requested that you remain seated with your seatbelt fastened until we come to a complete stop and the seatbelt sign is turned off. Please make sure you take all your belongings with you when you get off. On behalf of the entire company, we would like to thank you for choosing Radiant Airways. We look forward to seeing you again and wish you a pleasant stay in
Radiant
Pittston Township.
Airways. That's one thing I wish they would fix. I wish they would say the name of your company. It's Apex Air Charter.
Already arrived. Time flies. I even wrapped
Perfect.
up my work.
Parking
Will
brake
totally recommend
set.
this company.
I appreciate you saying that, sir. All right. And exterior lights off. We'll go ahead and turn off the passenger signs. Exterior lights are all off. And battery switch off. Perfect. Welcome to Scranton, everybody. Time to head on over to Dunder Mifflin. All right, time to see how we did. All right. Everything went perfectly, according to them. Let's see if we can get an S tier. Hey, we got an S tier. Let's go. Good flight. That's a good flight. This is going to pay very well. Oh, man. Look at that. 4.1 million. That's awesome. That is awesome. We're going to get a big boost in reputation. Back to S tier reputation. Beautiful. Awesome. Absolutely awesome. Well, you guys, that's going to do it for this episode of Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. Overall, I thought it was a pretty good flight. And as far as the default ATC module goes, I think it is better. I can see where they've improved on it, but there's definitely still a lot of improvement that needs to be done for me to consider it a good ATC module, because in my opinion, it still isn't. I would say that before Sim Update 3, the experience in career mode was probably like a 5 or a 6 if I had to put a rating on it, 5 or a 6 out of 10. And since Sim Update 3, I think now we're up to more like a 7 or an 8. So there's definitely an improvement there, but there's still more room to improve, and I really hope that they do. But let me know what you guys thought about it. Please leave a comment down below, and I would love to hear your experiences. If you've been flying in the career mode since the new Sim update, let me know what you think about it. I would love to hear your thoughts. So with that said, thank you all so much for watching. I will talk to you all someday soon. Take care.